Wow.
Portuguese being the first were here in 1471 for two main reasons. That is to trade and also to spread Christianity. Being here for 11 years, they approached the king of the land in demand of a piece of land to put up this very structure. Initially, they were not in supportive of the idea. The king said that the presence of these Europeans is going to create confusion among us. So he preferred that they should come and go. But as they were insistent, finally a piece of land was given for them to put up this building, which is now we see today as the castle. Initially, every room that you will see on the ground floor, these were serving as warehouses or storerooms. However, in the early parts of the 1500s, when European slave trade began, which they normally call it Atlantic slave trade, this then became dungeons where our ancestors were held captives for 3 months before they were sent to the Caribbean and the Americas. For a period of 155 years that the Portuguese occupied this building, nearly 110 years was used for slave trade. In 1637, this slave dungeon was captured by Dutch, being helped by people of Elmina. Now, they were thinking that as Dutch were coming over, slave trade would stop. Unfortunately, it became what we say from frying pan to fire. They even did worse. They were here for about 2 centuries. For 235 years, Dutch occupied this building. 210, British Parliament officially abolished slave trade. But this was just on paper. This continued illegally for over 50 years. So in the 1870s, this castle was no longer profitable for them. It was sold to the British. Now, British were here up to 1957, when we had our independence under the leadership of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Day of Ghana's independence proclamation by Osajifo, this is what he says. He says, when black man is given the chance, we are capable of managing our own affairs. Saying that for over centuries, image of black person has been trodden upon, so we need to create or build what he termed African personality. We can do so if we see the need to unite, because division is such a destructive tool that can affect every group of people. So saying that African unity is non-negotiable. But those who knew the danger of this man's thought, or what this man was about to do, collaborated with people within to have him overthrown in 1966. This regime was truncated.
The room at the back, it was a storeroom for the branded equipment. Most of the captives were branded hot metals with the merchant's names initials placed here on their forehead or at their back for identification. Many of them died after receiving the shock. Source of ventilation and lights. The two windows were done later. Slave exits to waiting boats. Please, with the first gate, you take a step down, one step down, the first gate. No food, no water. Whether raining or shining, will stand here. So the time they'll give up in form of punishment, just to breaking down their spirits. It's quite heavy. Yeah, if you want to try.
Nobody can pick that up.
No, but it's very good. You can even see how heavy it is.
Yeah, heavy it is.
They tell them to break down their spirits. Okay, please, we are here. In this room, about 130 women were kept here for a month, 2 or 3 months. These are the original iron bars. Over 300 years. We will get some rusted. We just replace them with wooden bars. If these bars were to be the original ones, the captives could have easily escaped. This wood here, this one. And the second one at this side. There are the two main original beams by the Dutch. Local red oak, the rest are new.
Okay.
Red bricks by the Portuguese. Yellow bricks by the Dutch, this one.
Oh, the yellow one.
Yes. They brought them to balance their ships. In return, going the captives. There was a program held over here last 4 or 5 years ago, reenactment of the slave trade and exhibition. People volunteered to sleep in this room for 1 night, just to experience how our ancestors went through. And because the captives were half naked, those who slept here for the program used this one, the white cloth on the floor, just to cover themselves. Demonstrate with the fire lamps and so on. The one the governor had selected, or the chosen one, will come up from here to the governor's bedroom. After that, back to the dungeon. You change the wooden aspects, but the format is the same.
So after the governor satisfied himself,
You will be taken back to the dungeon. And the records are that some of the soldiers were also taking advantage. Such a place. The steps into the governor's bedroom, it just rooms like the one over there. Dutch king, they had their own reservoir because they were afraid. They thought it has been poisoned. We've done a research, it has not been poisoned. But now it's not safe, so we don't use it. They were fighting among themselves over territories. Governor's kitchen. That's the quotation you left from the Bible. Psalm 132, verse 14. Zion is the Lord's resting place. Here was a place of holiness. The Lord lives here.
Yeah, right.
And right can
my brother so
Never happened.
So that's the original writing.
turn and the kitchen there. How do you know you're giving a slave too low and too good? Go there for. Let them keep you there for 2 hours.
Were kept in the various rooms on the ground floor. On top, rooms for the pastors, the soldiers, and the merchants, all round. Other level for the deputy governor, and the last one, the governor himself. Ranks, hierarchy, it was arranged. There are 2 watchtowers at the top. Soldiers were on top of the watchtowers. Because when the Dutch were here, the English were at Cape Castle, fighting among themselves over territories. So soldiers were all around the place. In 1896, one of the famous Ashanti kings, Nana Prempeh I, was captured from Kumasi, held in that room, the left one, for 4 years.
Wow.
From here to Freetown for 1 year, civilian for 1 year, before to Seychelles Island for 23 years. In total, he spent 28 years in prison. He came back to Ghana in 1924. He died at the age of 59, 1931. He was preventing the British rule over the Ashantis. There was this golden stool about the Ashantis. History believed that the golden stool unites all the spirit of the Ashantis. There was a time the English came. They wanted the golden stool. They had a duplicate one. They came back for the original one. There was a fight between the Ashantis and the British, led by Ya Asantewaa, born on Thursday, very strong, powerful, brave woman. First was she won. Second, she was captured as a hostage, not as a captive. She was held in that room, the right one. Less than a year, she was sent to Seychelles Island. She died over there. Recently, in 2000, her remains was brought back, and she was reburied at her hometown in Kumasi. Egiso Bisiase. Yeah. So Prempeh I and the Asantewaa were here at different times. There's even a school named after her, the Asantewaa Girls. So this indicates our the other setting. You have the flight drive on it. The flight drive. Because it indicates our yellow ones.
What are these, please?
You see?
What are these?
It's like a tax, an elephant. Yes.
Okay. Do you do anything with it in particular, or is just art to put on the wall?
Yes, we will for the patient. These are some of the books that we have.
Thank you. So this is what they're teaching the kids from now?
These are all that we're floating, and I'm part of this writing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.